Hi, I'm Ivan Navi, and I don't fear the Reaper. Yeah, I might be using that song later. Let's just see how things go. Anyway, today I'm bringing you guys one of the specials I promised you. Today I'm bringing you a little something new, a new segment. I'm calling it the Final Countdown. Which, now that I think about it, this isn't the final one. It's actually the first. So kind of misnamed there. Oh well, moving on. Anyway, in the spirit of the Halloween season, I decided to delve into the supernatural and the deady. Today I'm going to count down my favorite Grim Reapers from mythology, religion, folklore, and the alike because, well, I've got my reasons. Available on Amazon now. Yes, selfish, self promoting. Important for any writer. Anyway, here is my definition of Reaper. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting messages here. Not a great at editing, but yeah, let's keep going. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, yes, my definition of Reaper is going to be some entity known to transport the spirit of the dead to the other side, whichever side or whatever may lie on that other shore. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, my definition of Reaper. Now, to be clear, I wrote this down here. Okay, that's not even a message. It's an alert. I really gotta turn off the the volume on my computer. Sorry about that, people. Okay, yeah. Sorry. All right. So I wrote this down here on my computer. It's right here. I want to make sure that I'm very clear because I'm talking about cultural figures and I don't want to offend anyone or anything. So this is why I'm picking them. This is what's happening. This is everything. And I want to be clear. Now, picking for these Reapers is my own choice for favorites. I will explain why they're my favorites and why I like them, why I picked them, why they're my favorites. Now, since they're from different cultures, I might mispronounce a thing or two. I'm sorry for that and I will do my best. Also remember these are different cultures take on psychopomps, Reapers, and that can be shaped up very different from your own culture. So let's be respectful. Also, even within a culture, could be a few takes on the figure. I'm picking the one I like the most for this example, for this thing here. I am by no means an expert about these cultures, but I try to inform you all to the best of my abilities for what I have managed to gather and understand. If you are interested in finding out more, let me know by commenting below, and I might go do a more thorough analysis on them, or just go ahead and pick up a book. You'd be surprised what interesting things you'd find. So honestly, yeah, that's a good point there for me. Again, shameless. If you're interested in some of the figures I talk about, do your own research. It is honestly, I'm not being lazy here. I will do an analysis if enough people ask me to. But yeah, pick up a book. You'd be surprised what you can find, what you can delve in, and what cultural norms, Jungian subconscious, and just little facts about cultures you'll pick up by picking up a book and looking up a little more on them. And remember, we do have the internet. You can type away, see what you find. It's actually pretty interesting. That's what got me into reading books and everything, writing, because I found all these little interesting facts. So, yeah, I do recommend doing your own research. It's better than me telling you. Now, one final note. These are going to be my 4 top favorite Reapers. If you know why I went with the number 4, go ahead and comment below. So, we're going to do my 4 favorite Reapers from Global Cultures. Tell me what you think, and yeah. Let's start the countdown. Final countdown. Yes, I'm sorry for my singing. Yeah, sorry. At number 4, Maman Bridget. First off, let me explain the picture. That is a VV. That's a religious symbol used throughout voodoo religions. They serve as a sort of beacon for the Loa spirits during ritual. This one represents Maman Bridget. There are a lot of depictions of her, and to get to the heart of this whole Reaper thing, I decided to skip that and focus on why I like them so much. So I'm using this symbol. Okay, Maman Bridget is a Haitian goddess of love and death. She protects gravestones in cemeteries if they are properly marked with a cross. She's the goddess you pray to when dealing with death, gravestones, cemeteries, souls of the deceased relatives, and obscenities. She is represented by the black rooster, fire, hot peppers, and rum. What I like about her is that she's known to be very chatty and uses obscenities. She's so chatty and full of jokes that she actually makes the whole being escorted to the underworld kind of fun. I like that in a Reaper. When you die, it can certainly be a very stressing time. But having someone with that kind of personality, someone that can actually make you smile, that's something. Don't underestimate the ability to do something like that. In my opinions, I think someone lively is the best person to help move on the dead. And maybe if you're lucky, she will share some of her hot pepper infused rum. Sounds kind of spicy, but at least you don't have to worry about hangovers since, you'll be dead. At number 3, La Catrina. La Calavera Catrina. The illustration you see is made by a Mexican printmaker and cartoon illustrator, Jose Guadalupe Posado, sometime around 1910 to 1913. I might be a little biased with this one since I am of Mexican descent, but let's just keep going. Culturally, Catrina has become a symbol of death, and though strictly speaking this figure has really only been around since the 1900s, the same idea of a smiling female skeletal figure has been around for a long time in Mexico, like since the Aztecs. But let's focus on the modern figure for now. La Catrina is known to be really nice, to sing, to dance, to have fun with mortals on certain days, like the Day of the Dead. That really depends on regions, as different regions celebrate the day a little different, but the same idea remains true. La Catrina celebrates life with the living and the dead. Again, this figure speaks to my own thoughts about death, about enjoying your life as long as you have it, and trying to embrace it as an inevitable experience in the end. Not something to be feared, but just another part of this life. Maybe the end part, maybe just the beginning of something else. I might get this idea because of cultural reasons, but La Catrina has a great influence on Mexican culture. So much so that some say if you are Mexican, she will appear to you on the day of your death, which I don't think is a bad thing. Think about it. A smiling, though skeletal face greeting you in the end might not be such a bad thing. Amut. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to pronounce this name, but I'm going with Amut for clarity's sake, really. Okay, so we're going to ancient Egypt for this one. There are a lot of death gods, like Anubis and Thoth, but I decided to go with Amut for this entry. As you can see in the image from an ancient Egyptian papyrus scroll, this one looks a little different. Amut is another female entry for this countdown, but certainly a less human looking one. Amut is very unique looking. The best way I can describe her is part lion, part hippo, part crocodile. Unlike some of the other entries, this one is not worshipped but actually feared. Amut is known to stand by a lake of fire and is known as the Eater of Hearts, the Devourer of the Dead, and the Great Death. In ancient Egypt, they believed that when someone died, the gods would place their heart on a scale, and it was weighed against a feather. If the feather weighed more, they were good to go, but if not, then, well... Amut would eat the heart of the person, and they would be forever restless. And some people call this the second death. Some actually believe the heart was cast into the fiery lake. Not really a great alternative. Now, that is not saying that this is bad. Some scholars believe that Amut is a companion of Bes, someone who protected others from evil. And that's kind of what Amut is doing here. Taking away these evil souls, keeping them from entering the afterlife with all the other good souls and Osiris. Now, before anyone argues that Amut doesn't count since she's not taking the dead to the other side, let me say, I'm counting her. She is a part of the system which decides where people go, and ultimately, her stomach is where the dead go, so there. Remember, there are some not nice people in this world, and sometimes they need to be punished, and this figure is just one to do it. Plus, with that strange look, one which I honestly love. How can I hate this Reaper? Fear it? Maybe. Think it's awesome? Yes. At number 1, the Grim Reaper. The image you see here is a statue of death in the Cathedral of Thiers in Germany. The skeletal figure of death in a black cloak appeared in England around the 14th century, while the term Grim Reaper is said to be first used around the 1847. This one seems to be quite popular as it has spread throughout pretty much everywhere. The figure is certainly more prominent in Europe and North America, but it still has entered in pop culture. Though it does seem that the modern Grim Reaper it mostly comes from German and English traditions. This figure has become so prominent it's kind of hard not to talk about them in any Reaper related thing. They are a classic that sticks in the mind. This one stands for the inevitability and the fear that one has for death. That's what I like so much about this image. It's scary and you can't really stop it. There is something so inhuman about the scythe, how a human life can be brought down, so much so that it's comparable to cutting down some wheat. The image of the Grim Reaper is so prominent, so easy to understand that it pops up in movies and shows and animes and whatever, and in an instant you get what they're trying to throw across. If you are to fear the Reaper, I can see why this image would be the thing you fear. It's just so grim. Okay, that's my list. So, did you agree? Did you disagree? Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. I'm going to do another one for Reapers in pop culture, in fiction. So be sure to subscribe for that. Make sure to like the video if you liked it. Anyway, follow me on Twitter at StorytellerNavi and check out my links below in the description. That's it. So until next time, thanks for watching and stay tuned. I'm gonna have one for Reapers in Fiction coming out soon. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching.